big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Yes, guys, this is episode 9 of the United Forever podcast. I'm Sam Spanner, and I'm with my cousin,
Adam
Shaggham. So basically, this is the Palace hangover. So
Definitely.
before we talk footy, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. I've chipped a tooth today, which is wonderful.
Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, I was only
Been
I
eating
was literally
some
biting.
acorns.
Well, no, I was literally biting a bread roll, and one of my back teeth was chipped because I've got a mercury filling in my back tooth, and just a bit of my tooth just disintegrated. So I've got to go and get that looked at tomorrow at some point, which is not ideal, but it is what it is.
Fucking hell. So basically, you don't want to buy any bread from that bakery. Put fucking razor blades in the crust.
Exactly. But how's your weekend been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Managed to go down the old coast for a bit, and I'm a bit sunburnt on the face, but
nice.
So we went to this restaurant at lunchtime, and mate, they do some banging, like proper delicious seafood, but fucking Dave would love it. You know, he loves all of his seafood platters over at Mersey Island. But we didn't order like too many things in variety, if you know what I mean. But the quantity was ridiculous. So we had something similar to whitebait, fried whitebait.
Yeah.
Obviously chips. We got some battered prawns, and the other thing was some battered cod.
Yeah.
And mate, as soon as I'd got halfway through, I was like, mate, I've hit the fucking food wall already. and we were eating with the old mother-in-law, and I was like, I've got to make the effort to just eat more and more, because I kind of felt guilty, because she said, look, you choose what, you know, she was just being kind of generous and stuff, you know. She's like, you choose what we order and everything. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've got to make the extra effort to destroy this. And I was just like fucking getting the sweaty crack and everything. I was like, oh, mate, I'm in pain. So I was driving up this afternoon back from the coast, and I was like, oh, mate, I could just chunder right now. And I don't feel like I could be sick. I felt like a projectile, you know?
Yeah. Just sort of like overindulged. Seafood hangover.
So basically, the remedy was one of the old peppermint tablets. I had a peppermint tea on top of that. Then I had a chamomile tea, and none of that did the job. So I thought I'm going to do something extreme. One of Granddad's old school, teaspoonful of bicarb, stir it into a cup of water, down it. And mate, that obviously mixing with the stomach acid, I ran upstairs to the bathroom up in our bedroom, and I was like, mate, I could chunder. But the longest belch came out of my mouth. It was about 30 seconds long, you know?
Bloody hell.
I was like, how I didn't bring up at least a fishtail or something, I don't know, it was a miracle. But I'm kind of feeling a bit better, so thumbs up to Granddad for his good old traditional survival skills.
You didn't want to do a David R. round the U-bend special then?
Oh no, I didn't think I could hack it. I had to at least stay informed to do this podcast, you know. So I reckon in the future we'll have to do a Granddad special, you know, some of his survival skills.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is obviously going to be dedicated to a match review. So we've got the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep.
And if we've got time, maybe we could talk about, you know, predicted 11 for Tuesday, because that's just around the corner, against Luton.
Yes.
Who, funny enough, haven't lost in God knows how many games, and they're right up at the top in the sort of I think, in the playoff spaces of the Championship now, which is like fucked up.
Yes.
But anyway, forget them bastards. Let's talk about
The
the
other
good, bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
That's the one. So, if you don't mind, how about we start with the ugly first? We'll do it the other way around, just to kind of finish on a bit of a high.
The ugly. Wow.
So this is the worst of the worst, all right? So starting with the shittest and the darkest bollocks, all right? And then progressively moving up a bit.
It's, well, where do I start? It's a case of what the actual fuck. Basically, Luke Shaw, Maguire, and Lindelof were obviously playing another game, and De Gea were obviously playing a different game than the rest of the team, because the first goal was caused by, well, it was Luke Shaw was out of position, and De Gea just, well, I said in one of the previous podcasts that it'd be within 10 minutes of the first match back, De Gea with balls up, and he came up with the goods. You know, within the first 7 minutes, he's already conceded his first goal of the season.
That's right.
And I just so frustrating, the fact that we're talking about this again and again and again, and it's actually giving me a headache. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Fucking the slab head migraine.
It's just like sort of, yeah. I just don't get it. And then second goal obviously was a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
a lot of
Lindelof was caught fingering someone's ball.
VAR obviously caused a lot of issues with the retake. And then the third goal again was defensive issues. Both of them, both the centre backs, not enough pace. Got caught out by old Wilfred.
Yeah, he's come back to haunt us again, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Proving the point.
And it's just like, we've just lost 3-1 to Palace, and I'm like, why? Why have we? Why? I don't know. What's your take on the ugly side of things?
Yeah, well, obviously the Iceman has completely melted, so he's just a puddle on the floor right now, with a finger still appearing above the puddle. So, no, mate. So the real ugly thing is, obviously, we've talked about old Wilfred coming back to haunt us. I know Timbo was playing, deputising, and I'll touch up on Timbo later because he actually enters in one of my good categories.
Yes.
But even Wilfred got past Spider-Man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, when they beat us last season. So this is the ugly reality. Palace have set a new record for themselves. 2 back-to-back wins at Old Trafford. So well done, Hodgson. Fucking hell.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is a career milestone for him.
Yeah.
And obviously, we've talked about this a lot, and I'm not going to sort of talk about it too much now, but still the ugly situation is fucking old CEO Woodwank still hasn't flogged off any players apart from Sanchez, who gave him a golden handshake and a goodbye finger. And just I think obviously we only had 1 week to prepare for this match, and the preseason was mega short. And I know that we shouldn't really use that as an excuse, but it is an excuse. Greenwood had to train by himself because of his Icelandic antics. Aaron Wan-Bissaka had to train by himself because he had to self-quarantine, and he pissed off the training staff by
Yeah.
going to Dubai when he
Yeah.
was told, if you go to Dubai, then you're going to fuck yourself up and you'll get in trouble with us. So he
Yeah.
didn't care and he went anyway.
Yeah.
And then obviously the big question mark, will we sign anyone? And if we sign anyone, they still need time to settle and
Yeah.
adjust. So for me, that's the ugly. So
Yeah.
let's sort of
I
tone
just
down
want
a little bit.
to. I
Sorry,
just
yeah.
want to touch a bit more on that. It's just like, again, I believe we've agreed terms with that left back from Porto,
Alex Tellers.
Tellez. That's it. Um,
Yeah.
I think we've agreed personal terms, but they still haven't agreed a fee. And it's like, oh my
Yeah.
God, here we go again, right?
I know.
Woodward is just look. A club want a fee, and that is the end of it, right? It's not a case of, well, he's worth 30 million, but the club want 24 million, but we're going to pay you 20
Or
million.
Woodward would probably just be counting his pennies and be like, what about if we give you 29.5? Can we get away with
Exactly,
that? No, fuck off. Cough it all up right now, mate,
exactly.
you wanker.
And it's like with the Sancho situation, right? In the press the
Yeah,
other day, it's like, yeah, well, we're gonna put in another bid for him, but it's
yeah,
still not going to be, 100. It's going to be 100 million or whatever.
yeah.
Dortmund have set. It's like alarm bells. Dortmund have said we are not selling him for anything less than 120 million euros, which works out at what, 108 million pound, something like that.
Exactly.
So Woodward's gone. Okay, but I'm going to give you 100 million. No, they've come out and openly said he will not go. We will not. They will not sell him unless they receive 120 million euros.
That's the
But
one.
and
So
it's just like, oh,
it's just embarrassing.
mate, it is.
Mate, I'm actually, do you know, I'm getting a little bit paranoid, right? All right, you
Right,
can slap me across the face,
right.
obviously virtually right now,
Let's go
like a
for it.
Batman Robin power
Yep,
slap. So basically, I was thinking, right, the board might not
yep,
flog anyone,
yep,
off, right?
yep,
Just in case Ollie fails to beat Luton and fails to beat Brighton at the weekend,
yep.
and then they'll sack him. And then they'll be like, next manager, these are the players you've got in the squad. Now you
Yep.
decide, because this is scary, but we know how the club work. We
Well,
know the process cycle. Please
well,
just remind us how it works.
yeah. It's just.
Because you sent me the good old meme the other day.
Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. Let me just fire this one up. Hang on.
This was so
Oh, right.
relevant.
Okay. So this is the Glazers and our wonderful chief executive. They hire a new manager, make 3 to 4
Yeah.
signings they want, get Champions
Yes.
League football, then make no signings, and then they stop searching for a director of football, end up sixth in the league because of the lack of reinforcements, sack the manager for
Yeah.
poor performance. And that's basically what it is. It's just a cycle of
There we go.
shite. And
I know.
it's like, again, in the press, it's either yesterday afternoon or today, Mourinho apparently has come out and said he wants to sign Jesse Lingard. And then
I know.
we're swapping for Dele Alli. It's like, right, hang on, hang on. We're getting rid of one fucktard, and then we're going to sign another one who's got an even bigger attitude than Lingard. And it's just like,
Yeah, I know. He's another blinger, isn't he?
I'm just like,
Now,
oh my God,
I'm
is
going
this?
to.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's change the subject. I'm going to go on a rant in a minute, and it's not going to end up very good.
All right, but to just end the topic on a high, right?
Yep,
So you know how Deli Ali gets in trouble for trolling people, especially
yes,
Orientals in the
yes,
airport and stuff like that. So right, I'm going to
yep,
troll Deli Ali now. So you know how he used to take the piss out of old Van Gaal, saying how he looked like Butthead. Well, don't you
yeah.
think that Deli Ali could also sort of fit into the, the butthead air kind of thing that he's got going on with his face and fucked up nose and mouth?
Yeah. Yeah, they could be.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, mate, I definitely agree with you on that. It's just, I want to bang my head against the wall. It's just frustrating. And, you just touched on it
Yeah,
about the next couple of games. Right,
yeah, I
okay,
know.
right.
There's something scary about that.
I know
So
he's
wait,
not
can
going
we
to,
just
I
say
know he's,
that?
yeah,
Yeah, let's just put this right. What we're going to say now.
yeah,
What you're going to say about the next couple of games, and sort of stick that in the bad category now. So let's
yeah,
move. Let's
right,
move up a little bit into the bad category
okay,
because this
right.
is still an interesting topic.
Yes, it
So
is. Right,
yeah,
okay. Now, I know, obviously, this person that I'm about to mention is not going to be listening, right? Tony
yeah,
Cascarino. I've just sent you a link a moment ago.
yeah. I've read
Once,
it. What a twat!
once United to sack Solskjaer and sign Marcelo Bielsa as manager. Right. First things first, Tony Cascarino is a pundit because obviously he can't make it as a manager. Right. That
Yeah, that's the one.
so shut the fuck up, do your punditry job, don't get involved in things that do not concern you, period. Right? To come out, it's
Yeah,
like saying, with what he just come out and said, he obviously doesn't understand Manchester United, right? End of.
yeah,
The reason why we have Ollie in charge is because he is the right man for the job,
yeah,
period. The problem which Tony Cascarino has failed to even touch upon is the fact the reason why we have fallen over flat on our face is because of the absolute knob jockeys above Ollie who are just, oh, yeah, who have just absolutely knackered the club. And
yeah,
that is the problem. And I just wanted to give him a virtual slap when I read that. I was just like,
yeah.
how can you come out and say that? Do you know what I'm saying?
I reckon he's just been drinking too many pints of Murphy's or something.
He's been
Maybe the barrel needs
moonshine, I
changing.
think.
Fucking hell. So other
But
bad
yeah,
stuff, right? So
yeah,
I think that bad can also be used with a positive connotation. So obviously
yeah,
Jesse Lingard not being included is pretty bad,
yes,
in the squad. He wasn't even on the bench. I think that's fucking bad, mate. It's rude. So I'm hearing that bloody Mourinho's after Jesse.
yeah.
Pay up to 30 million. All right, mate. That is
Go
fucking
ahead.
bad because they'll only make Tottenham go from bad to worse. So why not?
Exactly, definitely.
So
Yeah,
and Dan James, mate, I feel sorry for him, but he was just
yeah,
he couldn't. He's got to play against a team that sort of
yeah,
have a back line that sort of like to go past or near the
yes,
halfway line. But
yeah,
Hodgson set his team up perfectly. I mean, I
yeah.
just need to be. I need to show him a bit of respect there because he did the job on the day, and
He
I'll
did,
take my hat off to him.
without a
So
doubt.
well done, Hodgson.
Yeah, and I agree with you there. I think, yeah, with Dan
Sorry, mate.
James, I've said my piece in regards to him.
Yeah,
Um,
and
we are,
apparently even Leeds
yes,
Bielsa
yeah,
wants to sign him because he
yeah.
failed signing him, and we got him.
Now,
But
I think with that, we need to say to him, right, okay, fine, fair enough. Give us 20 million, you can have him,
now
and
I've
end
read
of.
the specific price tag is 12 million they want to offer. That's without
Right,
add-ons. That could
okay,
increase now.
yeah,
I don't think now is the time to sell James just because we don't have anyone else really apart from they call him Magic Matter, but
yeah,
his battery on his mobility scooter is sort of dying. And but he somehow managed to pull out the odd assist now and again. But
yes.
you got Lingard,
I
mate.
think,
I
yeah,
don't trust him. And then we got
no,
Chongi, who's out in Werder Bremen, who's supposed to be hot property. So what's Ollie going to do? If he can't sign anyone,
Yep.
are you going to give Alanga a chance? Because that would be really interesting. You're going to give Mengi a chance? Again, these are sort of things that would please the die-hard fans because we'd just sympathise with Ollie and also support him in his faith in the youth.
You know, at the end of the day, you look at all the fan channels, the other fan channels and social media. There's, I'd say, 95% of what's being written, we just feel sorry for Ollie. It's just like, mate, we sympathise with you. You are not at fault here. Obviously, you get some of the knobheads that don't know the head from their asshole, and are going, "Oh yeah, Ollie needs to go," blah blah blah. But that's not the problem. That would cause a problem. That would cause a problem. Removing him as manager.
There's people today. I was just reading online. I've been having some disagreements with people in the YouTube chats, but don't give a fuck, mate.
Exactly.
The worst insult I've received today was being called a donut. So
nice.
I don't mind that actually.
Yeah,
you know, especially if it's one of Grandad's favourite. Yeah, I know. If it's one of Grandad's favourite jam-filled donuts, they're pretty decent. So, but anyway, another thing is, all right. So Ollie's tactics, people have criticised Ollie a little bit, but then again, I'm going to sympathise with him because bloody Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's misbehaved. He went against Ollie's sort of request. So he had to sit out because he's only been training by himself. You've got Greenwood. He's been training by himself. So we ended up with James on the right, and Mata wasn't anywhere to be seen. And mate, it's kind of a little bit scary. But Pogba, again, he's apparently had the Rona. We don't know how badly he's been affected, but the guy, right, ready for this scary number? This is pretty bad.
Go for
Gave the ball away about 16 times.
Right, okay, fair enough.
So Pogba, I'm going to go with I'm merging in with the good now. I honestly believe that Pogba works best with Matic just because Matic is there to clean up Pogba's mess because Pogba just loves to have too many touches and fuck up in his own half, and then Matic is there to calm things down a little bit. But when you play McSauce... Sorry, No, just give me the reason...
The reason why Matic is behind him is because he's so slow. But that's if he'd have been like 5-6 years younger, he would have been up the pitch, and then we would have conceded another goal. But so it's in our interest potentially to, as you say, to play Matic with Pogba for that reason, and it works well. Right, okay, you can continue.
McSauce. Now McSauce, right? This is moving on to the good. I think McSauce and Fred, I've said that in the past. I think that combo works better. And they complement each other. They're both battlers, and they can both do pretty well going box to box. Because they've got some kind of like trust thing going on. And McSauce ended up getting the most tackles yesterday on the pitch. He had a 92% pass success rate. He created 3 chances, which also shows that he was trying to get forward, more box to box. And he ended up winning 11 duels. And he had to do 8 ball recoveries. So I think those stats were pretty good. But obviously, again, McSauce, like any young lad, he needs momentum. He needs to have a run of games to sort of find his pre-lockdown form, if you know what I mean. Because post-lockdown, Ollie went with Matic to tidy up Pogba's mess, which worked, that combo, and got us our Champions League football. But you need to use a squad if you want to survive playing 60 matches a season. So, exactly. And what do you think about Timbo getting a shout yesterday?
I was actually, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is quite interesting. Playing against a team that he played for, was it last season or season before last?
Yeah, after he recovered from his old Achilles nightmare.
So and fair play to the lad. He I think he got rated as one of the better performers for the day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. But I
Um,
mean,
yeah, I
he
don't
also
understand.
can. People
Yeah,
are kind of blaming him for the first goal, when he got beaten down the wing by Zaha. But at the end of the day, Zaha did the same thing to Aaron
yeah,
Wan-Bissaka. So, and you know that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the best tackler around
yeah,
at the minute. So I do
yes,
sympathise. And going forward, he looked quite positive and he whips in some decent crosses. And it's a pity that when Greenwood got on the end of one of his crosses,
yeah,
he didn't sort of head towards
yes,
the right-hand post as opposed to going for the near post,
yeah.
and
That
obviously
was,
went wide.
to be honest with you, that was quite an impressive move. Because it come out of nothing, really, didn't it? And it was just unfortunate.
That's
Maybe
right.
if it was like 4 or 5 games down the line and Mason was on, in full stride, he would have done what you said. But his first game
Yeah,
back after a small end of season break, whatever,
I know.
and he's not quite at the races yet. But that
And
was,
another weird football stat:
yeah.
Mason has never scored a goal with his head. So
Well, so
let's just keep our fingers crossed that next time he will,
yeah, exactly. Now,
produce
as,
some goods.
so we're now in the good section here,
Yeah, yeah, mate.
right?
So I've given you some goods. Now
Yeah,
we need to
right. I've got one thing
have a
to add to the good,
think.
right?
Yeah,
Donny van der Beek. Now,
Baker cake,
Beek, Burke,
Van der Bacon
what,
Sarnie.
what? All I can say is good on the lad. He's come
Yeah, well,
in.
respect to him.
He got subbed on 65th minute, whatever it was. Come in
Yeah,
10, 15 minutes later, banged in a goal. Thank you very much.
yeah, he did well.
We,
And he increased the
and
pace of the match.
yep,
And he was
exactly. And
energetic.
when he had his post match interview, and I respect this lad. He's literally been at the club all of nearly 2 weeks now. He goes,
Something like that, yeah.
he goes. We were. What was the exact wording he used? Either he was let down, or the club was let down by some of the players. They weren't good enough.
Yeah,
And he said he was
that's
impressed with
right.
what he saw in training, but they played too slow. And
That's right.
for somebody who's been at the club for a fortnight to have the balls to come out and actually say that, respect. End of story.
Totally. He's
And I
raising the bar.
definitely, he's another Fernandez in the respect that he will. I've got a feeling he has got a bit of a Roy Keane burning lower down in his inner self, and he will let you have
Yeah,
it if
that's right.
you cross him. A bit like what Fernandez did with Lindelof. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
a
You'll
month
rip into
back.
someone.
Exactly.
He
That is
has to
what
do
we
that.
need.
He's got to do that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
what I love about coming from Ajax, they're
Mhm.
masters of the triangle passes,
Yes,
and also
definitely.
they're educators in minimum 2 different positions.
Yeah.
So he's received a proper footballing education as a number 10, as an 8, and a 6. So
Yes,
he's prepared, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. So
definitely.
now we're getting close to the 30-minute mark. Now
Yeah.
I think we've got time to just go through a predicted 11 against Luton, which is coming up not on Thursday, on Tuesday. Sorry.
Tuesday. Yes.
So in goal, who would you go for?
Henderson.
Guess, mate. Henderson's
Um,
relish.
yep.
Right,
I'll go
left
with
back.
Timbo again. Right, left back we go for.
Oh,
I'll go with Williams. He's fit, isn't he?
yeah,
Yep,
yeah, mate.
Williams.
He's gorgeous. Sorry.
I would go with in the back. I'd go with Bailly and Slapface.
Okay, not. Would you give Mengi? Think about Mengi. Do you want to
I
give him
would
his full debut? Yeah,
no,
against Luton.
no,
Okay.
because we need that win. I know he's not going to be
Yeah,
the cause of potentially us losing, but we need
yeah,
strength in numbers, right? So Mengi, I would potentially bring on half time, 60th minute, something like that. He needs to play, but not to start.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Timbo on the right.
Yes. Then we
Right,
go in the two CMs.
right.
Don't
I
forget
would
we've
go.
got Brighton coming up at the weekend.
Right, I would go with Fred and Van der Beek.
Okay.
Then
I would.
on the
So I'm listening to
sorry,
you.
yeah,
So I'm agreeing more or less with what you're saying. So I'm just going to interrupt you as
yep,
we do each sort of phase on the pitch, right? So
yep,
I would actually say, in fact, no, I'm going to completely agree with your back line. And what you said is spot on. Bring
yep,
on uh, Mengi for slab face so he can get a
yep,
bit of rest because he's just mentally exhausted, you know?
yep,
So, okay, you said Fred and Van der Beek, all right? I'm going to say
yep.
Fred and McSauce as the CMs.
Right,
So who's going to be
okay.
your number 10 then in front of them?
Well, that's going to be in front of them will be. I'll give Bruno a run again.
Okay,
Now as my left wing.
yep.
Hang on, let me work this out before I make myself look a tit.
Yeah, just think about that. I'm going to say this. As my number 10, you're
Yep.
going to think, what the fuck? I'm going to go for Van der Beek as my
Right.
number
Okay.
10 with Fred and McSauce behind him.
Fair
And
enough.
then tell me about your left wing.
Rashford on the
Okay,
left, and either on the right, I would say maybe Greenwood, or even give Alanga a start.
okay. Alanga plays more on the left, though. That's the problem.
All right, then swap them over then. So Alanga on the left, mate. Rash on the right,
Okay,
and then I'm going to say Ingalo up front.
okay. Yeah, that's pretty sensible. All right, I want to rest the three M's. So the Mason, the Marshall, and
Yep.
the Marcus. That
Yep.
trio I want to rest and get them ready for Brighton,
Yep.
completely rested. And
Mhm.
so I'm in a bit of a dilemma because I think that Luton are going to park the bus. And when teams
Yep.
park the bus, I think that I would start with Mata and play him for 50 minutes only,
Yep.
right? Because he can sometimes pull out some bizarre assists. And you
Yes.
get on well with Igalo because even though Igalo, is Nigerian, he speaks good Spanish, because he's
Yep.
a Granada legend and stuff, and he did well. So anyway, going back to the old front line. So yes, Igalo up front.
Yep.
I'd start Mata on the right, and then
Yep.
here we go. Do we go for Lingard? Do we go for Pereira? Or do we go for Alanga? Now this is pretty mental, but I would
Yep.
actually go for. All right, here we go. I'm going to go for Alanga.
Right.
I'm going to go
Fair
for
enough.
Alanga because I think give the lad a debut,
Yep.
and then I want Van der Beek to play about 60 minutes
Yep.
or 70 minutes, and then come off and recharge his batteries.
Yep.
Because I'd like to see him play against Brighton and also play with Pogba and with Bruno. I think
Yes.
McSauce and Fred need to get a bit of momentum going.
Yep.
And apparently Matic isn't match fit this week for some other reason. So
Yep.
on the FOTMOB app, it just says like exhaustion or something random like that. So
Overload.
yeah, overload, overload. So
Well, we know that's bollocks because he doesn't overload anything.
I know, mate. So I would literally say, okay, Matic, you're not available, but I
Yep.
think the Pogba and the Van der Beek
Yep.
combination could work. So I want to see McSauce and Fred play it out, and then Pereira come in as a substitute for either Elanga or Mata.
Yeah.
Most probably Mata, and then probably Lingard has to come on anyway, or Dan James. Maybe Dan James could do a good job as an impact sub. Let him play the last 30 minutes.
Yep.
But I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I'm being optimistic, and I'm just hoping that Ollie's going to pull off, the win against Luton. Because, I mean, if he doesn't, fuck me. The bonfires will be coming out of all the Glazers' asses.
Do you also call up Hannibal?
Magebury.
Because
mate,
that
could be a wild card.
Like, exactly. That could be something that people have thought about but not expecting, because he potentially, he's ripping it up in the under 23s.
Yeah, he is. He's taking the piss out of everyone.
Exactly. I think as much at the end of the day, we're not getting anywhere with the board with transfers. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Ollie's got to sit down with Phelan and say, right, we're going to cherry pick him, and him. They're going to come in. We're going to forget Pereira. We're going to forget Lingard. Mata can be
they've had their
teetering on the edge.
chances. Fucking hell, they've had their chances.
We're not going to get rid of anybody. Let's be honest. I can't see it happening. What's the issue with Smalling?
Sorry, mate.
Exactly.
Well, apparently Roma are trying to go in with the low blow, and Woodward won't accept it.
So basically, Woodward's doing the exact opposite to what he tries to do. He's doing it. He's got
double, triple standards.
Yeah, all right. He's working with the business brain, but you're not. So I can understand that, but he's doing the exact same thing, isn't he?
Totally.
But
if we get 10 to 15 million over 2 seasons, a 2-season loan, fucking let's have it, mate.
Now I've
free up some wages.
A bit of a theory here. Why don't we keep him? Give me 2 reasons why you wouldn't keep him.
Reason number 1 is, all right, I've got 2 really clear reasons, all right? This is going to be the last question for the show, all right? Because this is a pretty quality question. And I'm going to say that reason number 1 is because he's associated with the Jones era, the Sir Jones, and all the post-Fergie fuck-ups. And number 2 is because Ollie wants to just play out from the back, and Smalling isn't good playing with the ball to his feet. He's just a liability. Now, if he's set up in a different formation where you're allowed to do a long ball, and the centre backs don't have that pressure of standing right next to De Gea when he's going to take a goal kick, then that's fine. Just stick your fucking back 4 up the pitch. Look for your tall men, and then go for the aerial duels and whack it up to the strikers. I'm happy with that because we come from the old Schmeichel era when his fucking distributions were perfect. And we'd stick Stam, we'd stick Rio, Rio's post Schmeichel. We'd stick your Stams, you'd stick your Ronnie Johnsons right up there. And it worked, So Smalling will only work in that sort of setup, in my opinion.
So at the end of the day, Smalling is quick, isn't he? He's quicker than Lindelof. He's faster. Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Right, okay. At the moment, we want to play out from the back. He doesn't suit that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
No.
So you say, right, okay, I'm going to play you and Maguire. Maguire's going to play out from the back. Smalling is there for the pace, to be able to track back and take people out. A bit like what Ferdinand was with,
Vidic.
Yes.
Vidic
was a beast, wasn't he? Let's be honest. The bloke was a mad mountain, right? But
it was a nutter. It was absolutely amazing.
but Ferdinand had the pace.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
he did. And he had the
that-
lips as well, mate.
Is that
Buff-built
what-
platypus.
Is that what we're missing?
Sorry.
Is Smalling the piece that hasn't quite fitted, but now he will? I understand what you're saying about long balls and all that, but if we say,
Yeah.
right, okay, we'll play out the back from Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, and whoever the hell's going to be playing in left back this season, because I still can't tell you who's going to be in that position. You know, for all I know, he could put Matter in there on Tuesday night. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, that is fucking
But
scary.
if we say, right, okay, the three, I wouldn't even say use De Gea to play out from the back, but his distribution's complete wank. So
Oh, mate, it's scary as
So
fuck.
I think you would have to sacrifice if you kept Smalling. You would sacrifice him from playing out from the back, but you would then use him
Yeah.
to mop up anything that slipped by Shaw or Maguire, because
Yes.
there isn't going to be much that's going to get past Spider-Man this season, because he just
No.
pulled out. You know, you've touched on it. He surprises himself, doesn't he? Sometimes with some of the
That's the
stuff that he
one.
does.
Yeah.
So the right hand side, I'm safe with that, but it's the left centre and the left back where the majority of our goals will be conceded from this season. So we need that quick centre back. I don't know. You know,
Now,
people.
I'm,
I know we haven't had
I'm going to
many
say
comments,
that
but I think people might disagree with me there. But I think we need to give Smalling another run. And if it does fuck up, then what's worse we've lost.
But do you know what I'm going to say now? This is even. I know we're going over time now. We're over 40 minutes. It's going to take forever to upload the video. But this is the last. This is my last comment. All right, before
Yep.
we go, and I'm going to say Timbo, mate.
Yep.
He's our fastest player potentially if his ligaments sorted out. Because he did get the fastest Premier League sprint a couple of seasons back, and he's a spring chicken.
Yep.
And not only that, but he's so good. Again, with these triangle passes, he's got the Ajax sort of education, and having him and Van der Beek playing near each other. Oh, tsunami, mate. I think that could work, but that's just a bit crazy, and I don't know if Ollie has the balls to try that. Now, it would be interesting maybe in a cup match, but I'm thinking, why not?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
anyway, mate, we're going to wrap it up here, yeah?
Yeah, no worries, mate. That's fair enough.
Okay, so what do we say?
Over and out.
That's the one. Over and out and round about. Why I said that? Fuck knows. I'm a bell. Click on the bell. Subscribe if you want.
Yes.
And we'll probably do a show after Luton.
Yes.
Right? See you later, chronic masturbators.